Hello and welcome to Console Shock, episode 36. Retro and modern gaming chat with me, Trev, and as always, Stuart. Hello, Stu.
Hi there, Trev. How are you?
I really nearly said your surname.
Yeah.
Every time I say Stuart, it just flows into your surname.
Yeah, you don't have to say my surname.
I know you're getting harassed online because of that now with all your fan base.
People looking me up and stuff, and
so they come to the shop saying, "Oh, you're Stuart so and so." I found out your name.
If you go to our Facebook page, you'll see it straight away. So
you're just flat out there.
I'm not really trying to hide the facts.
So we're back again with another episode. It's actually we've had a little gap actually since our last one, but we've got a guest again this week. We're on a bit of a roll, kind of. I guess we had a guest last time. We had randomised gaming. That was interesting, wasn't it? Talking about different TV standards that affected our gaming back in the day.
No, it was. Yeah, it was a cracking episode, and I've actually started watching quite a lot of his old videos now on YouTube, and he's goes into quite a lot of detail.
A lot, yeah.
A lot of detail.
Have you frantically started to look up eBay prices on 60 hertz mods and replacing your UK consoles for American ones and all that kind of thing?
As I've said, since I moved, I haven't got too much space at the moment for the old machines to be set up, but I'm sure I will soon.
You're sticking to your beloved, slowed down, 17% slower HAL games.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they still work, I guess, right? So it's still the same game, isn't it?
Exactly.
Might be fussy. Anyway, so we have a very special guest on today. I believe it's someone that hasn't really been on any kind of video gamey retro podcasty thing until now. But just some background. Did you ever play Sonic R, Stu?
I did play it. And actually, a little bit of a fact, everyone thinks it's actually a really bad game, but that's actually not true.
It's not too bad, is it?
Everyone picks it up and plays as Sonic.
Yeah.
And actually, in reality,
he handles like
if you choose any one of the other characters, it's a lot easier to control and play. But we all know the best thing about Sonic R, is it's not the bad controls, it's actually the music that goes with it. So,
absolutely.
Trev, I'll let you explain a little bit more.
Actually, that was an era, wasn't it? On the Saturn there was a lot of games that had amazing, Sega games especially, had great music. And I think there's a lot of times I'll go back to those games just so I can hear the soundtracks. And Sonic R is one of them. And we're very, very happy to have on the show today, we have TJ Davis, who is the singer on the Sonic R soundtrack. Welcome, TJ.
Hello, nice to be here.
Really happy to have you on. And am I right in saying this is like the first time you've kind of been on a gaming-related podcast thing?
A podcast. I've done. I did an interview for and like a chat and everything for Sega Radio. Radio Sega a couple of years ago, where they played some songs and they actually got me to sing. I'm really, really glad I actually had one up my sleeve because they threw it at me right at the end and I managed to sing a little bit of one of the songs. I probably shouldn't have told you that, should I?
Well, it's good you should say that. Don't worry, we're not going to stitch you up. Stu's going to perform the entire soundtrack for you, though. Is that okay? Stu, you can do that, right?
Yeah, I can sing, yeah.
There you go. There we do that. So thank you. Yeah, it's good to know that you've done this before. We don't want to sort of, you're a bit more comfortable doing this stuff. I can imagine you're getting the last few years. I can imagine you're getting lots of like 30-something nerdy men saying, "I used to play your game when I was 12 or something." Right? It's just that time.
Actually, it's just I get some really lovely messages on Twitter from people just saying how much the songs meant to them. And a few years ago, I did one of the conventions. Actually, it's got quite a few years ago now, in London, and I went down with Richard Jacques, the composer, and we did some of the songs just with piano, which was really nice. Everybody singing along as well. That was it was good fun.
I've seen that on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on there.
So I guess to start off with, before we go straight into the sort of the Sonic your Sonic years. Which maybe they're called in your autobiography. I don't know. How did you get started in just music generally? I mean, what was sort of your background?
I always wanted to sing. Moved down to London straight after when I was at music college up in Leeds, I just started, to be honest, answering ads in what used to be a newspaper called the Melody Maker, around about the same time as the NME, actually. And I used to go to auditions and different things, and you just get to know people, word of mouth, going to just live, singers getting up at different venues and stuff, and went from there, really. And I just started singing with different bands and had my own band as well, doing my own songs. And then the connection for Sega came along through a friend of a friend who was looking for a singer at the time.
Oh, cool. So actually, Stu, you were looking up some of the people that TJ has been working with in the 90s, some quite names that people might know.
Obviously D-Ream.
Well, that's D-Ream is where the contact came from, because it was the percussionist. It was his girlfriend at the time that went to, it was either college or university with Richard Jacques. So it was Richard that was looking for a singer for it, and she put us in touch together. So it was her that actually got me the job, which was brilliant.
Did things only get better at that point?
It certainly did.
See what I did?
I did see what you did. I saw it. Yes, definitely.
And actually, one of my favourite bands, Blur, you worked with them as well?
I did, yes.
What was that like?
It was, do you know what? It's so funny. I was, me and my friend, another singer, wonderful singer called Angela Morel. She's now Angela Brooks. And we got a call from Stephen Street, the producer. And I thought it was a joke. I didn't believe it, because they rang the house and it had come again through. It's one of those things in the music industry. It's quite small, and friendly word and word of mouth goes round. And I thought it was a joke, because Blur were just such a massive band at the time. And then I got another call from, did you get a call from Stephen Street saying, want you for one of the Blur single? And I thought I'd blown it. I thought, oh my God, no, because I just thought it was funny. Anyway, a couple of weeks later, we were down in the studio, and we were only down there, must have been in for about an hour down in Fulham, recording it. And that was it. It was so quick. They knew exactly what they wanted, what sort of sound. We both went in, did it, and came out, and that was it.
Did you get to sort of hang out with Damon Albarn? And
Damon was he was in the vocal booth with us, showing exactly how he wanted us to do it, and he had a certain sound that he wanted. And all the band were there with Stephen, but it was Stephen that we really spoke to at the time.
She didn't get so much banter then or anything, or like.
I found them quite shy, to be honest.
Right.
But they were just really, I think they would just get in there. They wanted it done, and we were in and out, and as if it hadn't really happened until we actually heard the song on the radio.
Well, fair enough. It's not quite as glamorous as some recording sessions you hear about and sort of behind the music and all that.
It really wasn't. It was one of those that you just go in, and I think, that's just, we know exactly what we want, and they were definite.
I think we wanted to hear stories about crazy parties.
You haven't got to the Sonic bit yet.
There'll be some parties.
There were a few parties later, but not at that time. They were hard-working boys.
Oh, fair enough, which is good, actually. So... so what sort of musical influences would you say that any favourites that you personally sort of tried to emulate?
All over the place, really, for myself. I like a bit of everything. It's very difficult. I've always been quite pop, I suppose. I love rock. I love a bit of everything. I love dance music, obviously. That's when I went with D-Ream, and then I was in a band called Shiva for a little while, fronting that.
Cool.
The guy's based up in Huddersfield. I think I like a bit of everything, really.
So it wasn't like, right, I want to be like, sing like that person. It just kind of, everybody fed in there that you're into, sort of thing.
Well, the band that really got me, when I was little, one of the first things I heard was ABBA winning the Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, of course.
So I've obviously got a little bit of a history with the whole ABBA songs, as most people know that I used to be in Bjorn Again. Yeah,
I saw that as well. I'm an ABBA fan. I've got a lot,
I think it's that's the reason I started singing, I would say, really, because I just love singing, and I used to sing along with all their songs. So to actually do that gig when I got older was a bit of a dream gig for me for a little while,
So the question probably that I think me and Stu have been wanting to ask on our show since it began, the kind of typical video game related question what is your favourite ABBA song?
It's quite easy, actually. Name of the Game.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah,
mine's I do.
Oh, really? Now that's probably my least favourite to sing.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
know why. I used to love it, but I don't like singing, because we still do gigs, and we go over to Scandinavia a lot. We're all ex Bjorn Again members. We've got our own show now.
That's
so
awesome.
I do that. I do still go over to, bizarrely, we do so many gigs in Sweden and Finland. So we go over there quite a bit.
ABBA don't perform together anymore, do they? They've all fallen out, and
they've been offered £1 billion, weren't they, to join?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I've got a feeling there'll be something. And I'm sure they'll do something again together at some point.
Oh, I can only hope. You got a favourite ABBA song, Stu?
Oh, I don't know. Waterloo. I was just thinking, oh God, what was that film? Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
They're doing a sequel to Mamma Mia now.
They are.
There were so many sort of good songs in the first one, and I heard about Mamma Mia too, and I was, oh God, what are they still going to have enough sort of good songs that we all remember?
Yeah, they did seem to sort of use a lot of the big hits, didn't they, in the first film? So.
That's right, and of course that was probably about 10 years ago, and so of course it's out again. So I'm sure they'll do a sort of a medley of all the sort of the big hits in that, and plus put a few other ones in that were maybe not quite featured in the first film.
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw that actually. Because obviously it was actually it's actually a musical, isn't it? And then it became a film. But I actually saw it in London. I can't remember which theatre it was, but I actually actively made a point of going to see it. It wasn't like the classic, "Oh, my girlfriend took me." I literally I took my girlfriend at the time. I think I took her to go and see it. So this is the only way to see like ABBA songs live, really. Obviously, you had your band as well, Bjorn Again, but. It was the only way to really see them.
There's so many different tribute acts now out doing that. There's loads of different ABBA things that you can go and see as well. I think with Mamma Mia coming out as well, and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, that put it back in the in everybody's minds, didn't it? Really.
I think like late 90s, and then into like Muriel's Wedding.
Absolutely.
Well.
Yeah.
Lots of Australian-based films because they love.
That's where Bjorn Again started as well, because they're Australian. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
there you go. Yeah. So, how did that sort of evolve into getting involved in video games? Was there any earlier things that you did in video games? Was it straight into Sonic? Or?
No, the only thing I've ever been, it was only Richard that it was only Sega that I'd ever done. I hadn't really done anything else like that. So it was great to record with him. We had we had a fantastic time doing the album. Actually, it was brilliant.
Did he look you up then, or did you sort of putting your name out there as a vocalist that can do stuff? Or
not with, you mean with Richard?
Yeah.
No, that was the guy that I said about the percussionist in D-Ream. It was his partner that put me together with him.
Right, so it was a natural thing for you to sort of work together again.
Yeah,
cool.
And then and then we ended up doing the next one was Metropolis Street Racer, so we did that as well.
That was a smashing game. So I remember playing that and had almost, it was sort of one of the first games where you could sort of choose the different songs as you were going.
That's right. Around. I found that harder to do because there's loads of different styles with Sonic. It was easier just to, I knew exactly how I was supposed to sound. One thing was quite funny actually with that because I'm from up north. I'm from Leeds. I say dance, and when certain things they wanted dance, I had to put an R in everything.
Oh right, yeah.
And I was like, but I don't sing like that. And they said, yeah, but could you please try and say it? Because there's lots of little. In the game, there's lots of little go 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 and things like that. So I did a few of those as well. So
did you find that? Well, obviously, Sonic it was a big game all around the world. Have you had a lot of sort of almost sort of fans or people who have loved the music from sort of Japan or from America? And
absolutely, I still get either emails through on my website about it, or like I say on Twitter. people coming saying how much they love the songs and how much the songs meant to them as well, especially certain ones. There's Can You Feel the Sunshine seems to be one of those that is everybody's favorite, and it's just really lovely. I've never had anything, it's always been, apart from I think I did mention earlier, didn't I, that I was asked once what I thought about, somebody had said they turn the music off because they find the singing really irritating.
Oh, you told me that is horrendous.
Do you know what? It made me laugh. It didn't bother me in the slightest. Sure, if I was playing a game and I was listening to singing all the time, I'd probably find it irritating as well. So
it's interesting because of music as really video game music. You didn't really think of it as a kid. It was in the background and you'd hum along to it. But now it's a big thing where, there's actually a concert, Video Games Live, which tours the world.
Absolutely. I've heard about that.
It's amazing. Yeah, I saw it at the Royal Festival Hall about 10 years ago.
You should get on that. Get on to that.
Well, funny enough, I was talking to Richard the other day and we started chatting about it. And I just think that it'd be something. We were both sort of thinking about it, and watch this space, because we might end up doing something like that, and it'd be really nice because when we went up to do the
Video Games Live, there is a Sonic portion in it. It's called, I think they just call it the Sonic Medley, and it's basically the original Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Mega Drive, Sonic 1. When you complete it, you get the actual game itself. You get a medley of all the music from all the levels, because that game, actually, it was a Japanese band that composed the music. It wasn't actually a strictly video game person that made it. It was a Japanese band, which is why that's a very good soundtrack as well. Basically, it was a London Philharmonic Orchestra did that medley. And it sounded amazing. And it got the biggest cheer. Like, they don't introduce what song is next. But then, like, the big Sega logo came on the screen. Everybody started getting up cheering and going crazy. So if you started belting out some of that Sonic art, Michael Jackson concert where people were like fainting, or Beatles, it would be that. It would be anarchy.
I'm not sure about that, but I'd love to do something like that. It sounds amazing.
It probably should be like Michael Jackson. You should come down in like a spacesuit, lasers coming up and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and then just
that sounds good to me. I've had to wear worse on stage, believe me. So don't worry about that. I'm quite happy with that.
So, were you like into video games at that time? Was it just did you have any knowledge of Sonic or Sega or anything at that point?
My brother is a massive gamer. He really loves he loves games. He's 4 years younger than me, and he used to absolutely love games. But in typical brother-sister fashion, he couldn't ever show that he was impressed or anything. It'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. It'd be like, oh no, I play PlayStation. No. So no, there was never any really. I think he probably thinks it's pretty cool, but he'd never admit that to me.
I bet he went out and he said, my sister, Sonic R, she did all the singing on that. I bet he uses that all the time.
Absolutely.
When he's, talking with his mates and stuff. Oh yeah, remember Sonic R, all the songs? Yeah, that's my sister. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I bet he did as well.
So did you get to actually visit Sega when you actually, were doing the job?
I did. I used to go, because I used to go up to the offices quite a lot.
West London, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when we did when Metropolis Street Racer, we were actually recorded it. There was a studio actually in the building. So for the second lot, I used to go in there all the time to do that with Richard. But yes, I met them, and I met quite a lot of the bosses when they came over as well. I met we went to, I remember there was a big do up over at the Chelsea football ground. I met a lot of them there. Close, yeah. It was all good. I felt very much involved in the whole thing when it first came out,
It's kind of an interesting point in Sega's sort of history, because if we're being really honest, like these days, they're pretty much a shadow of what they were in like the 90s. And because the 90s, they were basically, although they was dropping off a little bit, even at that point when Sonic R came out, well, quite a lot actually, they were dropping off because Sony were pretty much destroying them a little bit. But in the 90s, certainly in around 94, 95, they were pretty much in the UK. They were number one.
Wow.
Sonic the Hedgehog was. I think there was some kind of study in like 96 or something. Like Sonic the Hedgehog was more recognised by sort of 5 to 15-year-olds than Mickey Mouse.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's how big sort of Sega was. Obviously, it was a big part of my childhood and teenage years, and Stuart as well. So yeah, it kind of signposted the sort of even the end of what was maybe the glory years. I think when Metropolis Street Racer came out, the other game that you worked on, I would say that they started to really fall off a cliff not long after that, because that was their last.
I remember that. I think I remember all that happening, actually. Yeah, because I was still living in London at that point, so I used to see Richard quite a bit and go over to the studios and everything. So I remember talking about that, definitely.
Did you get that vibe then from him, that there was sort of things aren't quite as good as they were, and
Well, it was the consoles, wasn't it, or something? Wasn't it something to do with they weren't going to be producing them anymore?
Yeah, that's right. The Dreamcast. Yeah, they stopped making them. Very early. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were basically worried about the PlayStation 2, which the PlayStation 2 just came out and absolutely blew everybody away. So I mean, in terms of the aftermath of it and people sort of becoming nostalgic, and when did you become aware that there's kind of a following for this, or did you always know that, or did it suddenly everybody popped up?
I don't think I really appreciated it until a lot later, to be honest. I'd done it and loved it, and it was all great. But I hadn't really realised how much people really were really into it until I got my website up and running, and then people started to contact me and asking me loads of things, and I thought, oh, okay. And then I don't know, I started noticing things on the internet and seeing things on YouTube, and then I realised actually this is quite big. And how much people loved it. And then when we got asked to do the conventions and stuff, and I have been asked to go to America a couple of times, and I'd love to go. It's never worked out, but fingers crossed one day. I'd love to go to one of them over there. That'd be amazing.
Have you ever been asked to sing at a wedding yet? Can you feel the sunshine?
Not yet. What, you mean one of the fans asking me to sing it? That would be funny, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That would be lovely. No, not yet.
It's inevitable.
Yes, of course.
You getting married anytime soon, Stu?
No, I think you'll be getting married before me.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a couple of jobs coming up then for you, TJ, to sing that
fantastic.
One. And ABBA as well, I guess. We'll have to have a bit of that.
Oh gosh! If I can give that one a miss for a little while, I'll sing "Can You Feel the Sunshine" instead.
Yeah, just do that 8 or 9 times. That'll be fine. So yeah, you did a convention. I think it was in 2008.
Yeah.
So again, was that out of the blue, or was that at that point when you kind of were aware that there's kind of a fan base? Or?
Yeah, it was. Richard had been asked, I think, so many times to do one, and there was another singer with us as well, and I've completely forgotten his name. Is it Brandon? I think it was. Oh, Bradley.
Yeah.
He did it as well, and I was shocked at how popular it was. It was absolutely rammed. People were so lovely. Everybody singing along. It made me realise that the songs really meant stuff to people, which is really nice. It's nice to know. I always like to hear that. If they've been able to get a song that means something to them. I think that's what music should do anyway, shouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Do you find this particular demographic of people that kind of sort of approach you or email you, or is it all kinds, or
all kinds, from all over the place? Yeah.
Did you get any free Sega stuff?
I got a Sonic the Hedgehog T-shirt that I actually wore. I was expecting them to ask me to dress up as Sonic the Hedgehog, to be honest. I was thinking, here we go. I haven't been asked to do that yet. But they didn't. I just had to I didn't even have to wear the T-shirt. I decided to wear it.
Oh, cool. I'd imagine that'd be a bit annoying dressing fully as Sonic.
Yes.
That would be sweaty.
Yeah, he was there, so I don't know how the person who was dressed as him felt, because that would have been a long old day for them.
I'm pretty sure when I was a kid, I imagined that if it was like no, the Sega HQ in Brentford, I think it is, isn't it, in London? I always thought that Sonic the Hedgehog was actually there, and he was like the manager. Is that the case?
I know he is. It's totally true.
Well, there you go.
Kind of like Willy Wonka. It's sort of like that, but a Sega version of that.
Exactly.
Is that what it's like? It's not a corporate drab.
That you have to wear. It's the rules of the office that everybody has to have some form of Sonic the Hedgehog costume on.
Oh right.
Not really.
Don't break the dream. That's what
I've shattered everything, haven't I? Shattered all your illusions.
You actually have the game, though. Do you actually have Sonic R? Have you ever played it?
I have. I was asked this on the radio, and somebody then tweeted me saying, "You've just ruined all my childhood illusions because they imagined that I did play the game." And I have to say, no, I haven't. But I did see it because I had it on a screen when we were at Metropolis Studios. In London.
Yeah.
We had the sort of video screens and everything, so you could see it running when we were doing the last bits of recording. So I have seen the game, but I think I'd be pretty rubbish playing it, to be honest. I'm not very good.
I think everyone's pretty bad at it, to be honest.
Okay.
Badly, very, very badly.
Yeah.
It's like God, Stu, sorry.
It does look, and it was great at the time. And as I keep saying, a great soundtrack. And if you play as Sonic, it is quite tough. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
It's like controlling a bobsleigh.
Okay.
With no hands or arms or legs or anything. It's very, very awkward. It's a weird game. The interesting thing is the people that made the game, they were called Traveller's Tales then. They now make the Lego games. It's when you go into Escalade and you see Lego Marvel superheroes, Lego Star Wars. That's the same guys. They made that. They're called TT games, which is Traveller's Tales, but abbreviated.
Okay.
But yeah, they made Sonic R. Back in the day, they had a very close relationship with Sega, and I believe they made Metropolis Street Racer as well. So that would make sense.
I feel I should know all these things, but it's been a long time, so I'm sure I was told it at the time.
Yeah. It makes sense that I would have brought you back. So I mean, have you done anything else sort of video game related, or was it just sort of those two things? Or?
No, I didn't. No, I haven't done anything since then. There was what I talked about a while ago. Something I nearly got involved with the EA Games thing. There was a new a live rock thing coming out, and they wanted somebody to go and sing and demonstrate it. I can't remember what it was called.
Guitar Hero
but
or Rock Band.
It was one of those, but to have a singer to do that and go around everywhere to actually sing, and it just didn't happen in the end, unfortunately, because that would have been good fun.
That's funny actually, because that kind of genre has died a bit, isn't it, Stu? I mean, that and Dance Revolution, which is another game that was music based.
The rhythm games, they should be a lot better because people really did love them at sort of one point, and I don't really know, sort of, maybe I think they oversaturated the market with it, and
maybe things come back as well, don't they? Maybe sometimes people just remember fondly once something's
I think it'll
gone.
come back. I think it'll come back. Yeah.
Well, I think the big guys that were in that were Konami, who made Dance Revolution. They don't really make games anymore, apart from football games.
Right.
So now they don't bother doing it. There's like no one else there to pick it up. But and the Wii, I guess, obviously had a lot of those sort of games where you wave your arms around and all that sort of stuff.
That's what my daughter loves. She's still got the Wii, and she's very loyal to it. She plays. She's got all the dancing ones on there. I do sometimes join her on those, but I'm pretty rubbish. And she's really good.
Does she? What does she think about you being a bit of a Sega legend then?
She just thinks it's funny. She's just been in the room and then went back out again. She's laughing. She thinks it's quite funny because it's just like, I'm mum. I'm not cool.
No, we're not cool either.
No, you're immensely cool to us though, TJ.
Oh well, that's very kind. Thank you.
One thing, actually, I think we kind of sort of fast forwarded past it, but now it just occurs to me, like, in terms of the soundtrack for Sonic R, I mean, were you actually involved in kind of the writing process for it? Was it all just there and you just
Yeah, and Richard Richard Jacques did the whole thing. He knew exactly how he wanted it, and we'd obviously discussed different styles and different ways of singing it, but he knew exactly how he wanted it, certain songs, and then with Metropolis Street Racer that was slightly different because we had different styles, so we'd have to work it out. And as I said, I found that quite difficult sometimes because a little bit out of my comfort zone, having to sing maybe a style that I wasn't used to. But I really enjoyed it still because we worked so well together, and we did have such a giggle when we were in the studio and everything, and just hanging out afterwards. So I really enjoyed doing them.
Did you actually sort of see your work in the game shortly afterwards, or did it just pass you by and all of a sudden all these people like us have come up to you and are like...
Well, I heard it because I had all the soundtracks and everything, but I don't ever think I was really aware. But I don't think you are when you're just getting on with it. When you're in your 20s, you don't really think about it as a big thing, do you? You just think, right, okay, I've done that now. What else am I doing? I was really proud of it, but I don't think I realised how big it was at the time at all.
It's almost a little bit of a shame because when you did sort of Sonic R, they put the songs on there basically as just a big audio file, so you could only really fit 6 or 7 songs on the disc, and of course now they're all as sort of MP3 files and all compressed. So if you're sort of making the game today, you could have had the chance to make 40 different songs for each different track, and
well, there's a lot of remixes, aren't there? There are lots of different versions, and that brings me on to the whole Rick Astley thing. Well, Richard brought it to my attention the other day. He said, "Have you seen this?" And I clicked on the link, and there's a picture of Rick Astley with a load of the songs from Sonic R, and you click on it and it sounds like him, and I'm thinking, that's strange. I didn't know that he'd covered the Sonic songs. That's amazing. And then I realized it's just pitched lower, and it's me. And then the song sped back up again. Because sorry, go on.
Wasn't he from the north of England as well?
Yeah, he is. But how bizarre is that? That's such a strange thing, because I am basically Rick Astley if I'm pitched lower. I have.
There's a career for you there, TJ.
Yeah,
well, a bit more slowly.
My friend plays drums for him, so I've texted him to say, is Rick aware of it? And I don't know whether he is, but I think it's funny. But if you look at some of the comments on YouTube, people think, "Oh my God, I didn't realize Rick," and then somebody goes, "It's not him." There's a few sort of little arguments going on, and it's quite funny to see. So yeah,
I mean, he's a bit of a YouTube legend, Rick Astley, isn't he?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah. What is it with you Northerners and your great voices, eh? Is it the Bovril you all drink or something, or the Graven?
Bovril. I don't know. I think it's. I'm not sure. I don't know how to answer that, really.
I mean, I'm from Leicester, and I can't really think of any. Well, there's Mark Morrison. He's from Leicester.
Oh gosh, yes.
Return of the Mac dude.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, and his other great hits like.
That's it.
The remix of Return of the Mac.
Oh yeah.
Can you think of any good Leicester singers, Stu? You must have an encyclopedia of that.
Really put me on the spot here. No idea. I
can think of other famous people from Leicester. Gary Lineker.
Of course.
And that's it. I think so. Yeah. But not really. It doesn't really lend itself. Walker's Crisps is from Leicester as well.
I think we've got to stop talking about Leicester.
You're from Kent, aren't you? So you've got like a ton of famous singers from Kent.
Well, there's my primary school teacher. Her son was the drummer in the Clash.
Oh,
the Clash!
Wow,
Topper Headon.
Wow.
You're from Dover, aren't you, Stu?
Yeah, I'm from Dover. Yes, yeah.
Is it the Clash actually from Dover then, or is that just
no?
Oh right, okay.
Or maybe around there. I'm not quite sure.
So actually, that makes me think, Stu. Do you have Sonic R in your shop?
We probably haven't got it in the shop, but I've certainly got a copy myself.
Have you ever had anybody come in to specifically buy a game for the music? Then would you say?
I think so. Yeah, that's certainly a reason to buy it.
Yeah. A game like that, actually. I mean, TJ, I don't know if you're aware of that, but Sonic R, I think it'd be one of the more valuable games now, isn't it, on the Sega Saturn?
Yeah, well, Sega did like amazing things with things like Space Channel 5, Crazy Taxi, and there were so many games. They had really good sort of soundtracks. Also, there was great soundtracks on Nintendo games, but they never had lyrics to them. They're doing
that now. Like Super Mario Odyssey is like a woman singing a huge theme song, which I find very bizarre. I don't know why, but I just don't associate Mario with someone singing. It's kind of funny thing to say. But normally, when you play a Mario game, it's just got a funny little twee music in the background. It's like someone singing lyrics in Tetris.
Right.
To that famous Tetris Russian song. How annoying would that? TJ, there you go. You could do that. You could do a Tetris song.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to do that.
That'd be great. We'll get something set up, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Just need a composer onto it. That'd be good.
Can you do it in your Rick Astley voice, though?
After a few drinks.
Like a pub singer sort of thing. Just lower it a little bit.
Yeah, of course.
So what have you sort of done, what do you these days? What do you do these days since you're post Sega sort of,
I work with different bands. I'm actually on tour at the moment with a Cutting Crew. I'm doing backing vocals for the 80s band Cutting Crew, and it's Icons of the 80s tour with Nick Kershaw and Go West.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm doing at the moment, and it's been great fun. Actually, we've got another couple of weeks to go before finishes at the end of March, and it's been great. I've really enjoyed it. I'm doing my hometowns in a couple of weeks in Brighton, so that's where I live now. I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be a good night.
Sorry, have you ever done any work with the Pet Shop Boys?
No, I haven't. I know the singers that have actually really well. Singers seem to we all know each other.
Yeah.
But no, I would have loved to as well. That would have been amazing.
Yeah, because I've just got tickets for them at the not the Royal Albert Hall, the Royal Opera House.
Fantastic!
In the summer, so I'm really looking forward to that. But it'd be great if you were sort of one of the sort of the backing singers there.
That'd be wonderful. I do enjoy. I haven't done because for quite a long while I haven't done backing vocals. I've been doing a lot of lead stuff. But my first ever backing vocal job was Gary Newman. That was my first big tour, and it's his 60th birthday today.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So he had the big hit Cars, didn't he? That's what
he did.
Yeah, that's what he's famous for.
He's out on tour at the moment.
Yeah.
He's out in Europe at the moment doing a massive tour because his last album's done really well.
Oh,
I've got a question then for everybody. So keeping that the sort of song theme, what was the last song you listened to? So TJ, what was the last song you listened to?
What, just today?
Yeah.
That's really easy actually. I think I've got her name right here. It's called Make Me Feel, Janelle Monáe.
Never heard of it. Sorry.
It's very it's brilliant. It's very Prince-like, and
cool.
Prince apparently co-wrote it with her. She was working with him before he passed away, and have a listen because it's brilliant.
Things, then.
Pardon?
It's one of the last things he did, I guess.
Yeah. It's she's amazing. She's absolutely fantastic, and I was listening to that on a bit of a loop today, actually.
One interesting Prince fact that I've got is apparently Quincy Jones wanted Michael Jackson to be a duet between Prince and Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yeah, and they
it's on
this. There's an interview where you can listen to Quincy Jones talking about it on the Bad Special Edition CD, and he went to Prince and I think played him the demo, And Prince said, "You know what? You don't need me on this. It'll be a hit without me."
Gosh.
And Quincy Jones was like, "Oh, okay, thanks." And obviously, he was right because it was.
Yeah.
But that was the idea.
The
video is quite adversarial with Michael Jackson sort of singing at Wesley Snipes. While dancing.
Some sort of gang thing, wasn't it?
It was the normal way you diffuse a gang dispute is through dance.
To have a sing at them and dance at them.
Yeah, exactly.
Be a lot less violent.
Works every time. And it was supposed to be a duet between them, and
Gosh, that's really interesting. I never knew that.
Another fact about Bad is there was actually, you should get the special edition. God, we're talking about music completely now, aren't we? If you get the Bad special edition, it's got all those sort of Quincy Jones interviews, and it's got a couple of extra songs on it. As one is really good. It's called Streetwalker, which I listened to today. Not a great subject matter normally for Michael Jackson to be singing about, especially. But the song is amazing. But it got cut from Bad. It was a toss up between that and Another Part of Me. And
that's a good song as well, though.
Yeah,
it was a crunch meeting they had. We thought, right, we've got to decide whether we have Another Part of Me or this. And they played it, and Michael Jackson started dancing to Another Part of Me. And they're like, well, obviously you prefer that one. It's only got 10 songs on it though, 11 songs on it. Bad. You could have snuck an extra one in. It's a really short album.
You'd have thought so. It's a great album though. I love that album, but I actually really loved the Dangerous album as well. That was one of my favourites.
I really like In the Closet. That's my favourite song on that, even though it's not
really good.
Yeah. The last song I listened to was Cuddly Toy by Roachford.
Oh, now you see, I have seen Roachford live so many times. He is one of my favourite artists of all time. I absolutely love Andrew Roachford. I think he's amazing. It's wonderful. It's a great song. I've seen them quite a few times, and he's now singing with Mike and the Mechanics. So he's the singer with them now.
What a combo! Yeah, that would cause like a rip in space time. Them two together on stage, or those guys. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, no, it was really. He's been doing that for a little while now. But yes, I'm a big fan. And Cuddly Toy is a great song.
It's kind of been resurrected with because it was in Alpha Papa, the Alan Partridge film. Alan Partridge sings it in his car on the way to work. Yeah,
brilliant.
Resurrected it a little bit, but yeah. Anyway, Stu, what about you?
In the gym earlier, I was listening to Manic Street Preachers' "Everything Must Go."
The album,
the whole album. Yeah, I had that on.
I love that album. Yeah,
and it's pretty good stuff. And but talking about Roachford, I think I saw him.
He's from South London, isn't he? I think he might
Wembley. He was supporting M People.
Okay.
Years and years ago. It must have been a long time ago.
Yeah, he's from
pretty good.
He's from South London. I'm not sure if it's my South London or your South London. But
I don't know where he's from, no.
I don't get any hints of... I'm not sure if he supports Charlton Athletic, because I don't get that impression in his songs. He's far too upbeat for that. So yeah, might be more your side of it, sort of Croydon. But
I've sung in the middle of the pitch at Charlton Athletic.
Oh my God, really? No way.
Yes, absolutely. I have.
They're the team that I support.
Well, I noticed that on your Twitter.
I've got a whacking great big badge.
We did it that was with Bjorn again, just before a match.
Oh well. How long ago was that?
That must be probably late 90s, early 2000s, something like that. Maybe 2000, 2001. It
would have been the Premier League then, yeah.
Yeah.
The stadium was probably full then, Trev.
I don't know what that looks like these days.
Are you going to start having a fight about football?
Well, if you say you're from Leeds, do you support the Leeds or follow football?
I used to. I sort of did for a while, but I suppose now I'm not down. I've been in Brighton for quite a long time, and Brighton are just doing so brilliantly. I've got to support them.
So you didn't. So basically, when you sung at Charlton, you thought, "I never want to be involved in a football club again."
Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm trying to think of a pun of an ABBA song that fits with Charlton Athletic. I was going to say "The Winner Takes It All," but I wouldn't say "Winner" with Charlton. I don't know. What would be a good one? I can't think. I'll come up with one more as soon as we get off this podcast. It'll be tragic, but yeah. It's funny, actually, you mentioned Go West, because on our channel, me and Stu did a review of We Close Our Eyes, the music video. Because it's a sweaty bloke holding a spanner.
Yes.
So, what's that about? What are your thoughts on that, TJ? What are your thoughts on sweaty men holding spanners?
I'll ask him. I'll see him in Glasgow on Saturday, so I'll actually ask him about that. Ask him about that video.
It's a cracking video.
He's his voice still as well, and the same with Nick Van Eede, who's the lead singer of Cutting Crew.
Yeah,
They've still really got their voices, and Nick Kershaw. They just sound amazing.
Yeah,
really
I love Go
brilliant.
West. Obviously, the king of wishful thinking is the one that everyone sort of thinks of, isn't it, these days? But,
yeah, I think We Close Our Eyes for me. I think that's
my favourite.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, the video is hilarious. It's just him in a vest hitting mannequins with a spanner.
Well, I think there's I think it's that one that Jimmy Kimmel, the American. He's just done a spoof with Paul Rudd, the actor. And because he's a bit of a fan, so they've been in touch recently on Twitter, and they've done their own video of that.
That spoof was amazing. Yeah,
it is very funny.
Yeah,
but Peter was aware of it when we were away on a gig, and they've had a little bit of a conversation on it apparently.
We need to get on that, Stu, because our video we should be able to get a few more hits on that. Our review of that. We've done a couple of them actually. We did one of who was the other one? Sabrina, Boys. Oh
gosh, I remember that.
Borderline pornographic.
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah,
I think when I was about 13 or 14, God, that video
it sparked feelings in you that were lying dormant.
I don't think they could release that now.
I became a man when I watched that. Well, I do actually. The next one. So TJ, look out for this, and Stu, we need to sort this out. I think we're doing "Breakout" by Swing Out Sister because it's probably the greatest haberdashery factory-based video ever. There's not many contenders, but
I did a dance version of that. This is a little bit. No, nobody probably knows this.
Really?
I did a dance version of it. I don't. It didn't really do anything. I don't think it. I think it was just out on white label in the end and didn't actually chart. But I did a dance version with a guy called Andy Cato, who's a guy from Groove Armada.
Oh wow! I love Groove
and that's
Armada.
before Groove Armada. So yes, we did that a few years ago because I love that song, and I myself, I'm not just being modest. I didn't do it justice at all because I just think the original is so amazing. It was actually quite difficult to do a new version of it. Really,
she looks a bit like Mystic Meg, the woman that sings
it. She's great though, isn't she? It works perfectly. That
great
song
tune.
is just such a good song. It's brilliant.
We need to do that, Stu. So actually, TJ, I might have to hit you up to help us out with that review because we need your comments on what happened, why there isn't enough haberdashery videos.
Yeah. I don't mind.
And I was watching Buffalo Stance by Nana Cherry, and
that's a cracking song.
Yeah,
the song is amazing, but the video is just her sort of in random 80s video effects of her being superimposed over just some kind of PowerPoint.
I remember that.
It was all sort of crazy colours in the background, wasn't it? I think that video was done with about a £2.50 budget or something. But
that's been generous, mate, to be honest.
She did some cracking songs. I can't remember the
Man-Child.
The one about 7 seconds.
Yeah. 7 seconds. That's another song I listened to today. Actually, that's a beautiful song.
That's amazing.
That's making me think about. I was quite random today with some of the music. So I ended up going into garbage after that, as in the band, not literally. I went into some garbage.
Stupid Girl's one of my favourite ever songs. I love that song.
I think I'm Paranoid is my favourite of theirs. But they're still knocking around as well. Shirley Manson.
She's just been on tour with Blondie. They did a tour together.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah, quite a good actress as well. She's actually acted in some TV shows.
Okay.
Weirdly, the Terminator TV series. It was a TV series about 10 years ago. Yeah, literally.
And she was in that. I did not know that.
In an entire season, playing a main character.
Wow.
Remember the first time she turned up, I was like, "That's Shirley Manson."
Brilliant.
Well, she was great. Yeah.
She's cool.
She's awesome. And Gwen Stefani, it makes me think all these people have been around 20 or 20, 30 years now.
It's scary. Yes, I know a lot of people in the music industry with big birthdays. This coming up this year.
I guess it would be, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Okay, well, I think we've been rambling on now, and we've probably kept you away from what would have been a nice evening, probably. Talking to, again, some 30-something nerds that, I'm sure you've had a few of those try and hit you up the form for an interview.
Not at all. I've enjoyed it.
Thank
you very much, TJ.
It's been
You're
amazing.
Very welcome.
Talking.
Oh, it's been
really
lovely. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
No problem. So yeah, thanks again, TJ. What we're going to do is we're going to get we'll push this out on on YouTube tomorrow. And Stu, where else can you get us in our social media?
We're also on iTunes. We're also on Stitcher. You can find us on our website, consoleshock.net, and our Facebook page, which is just look under Facebook, Console Shock, and under YouTube as well. Which you'll...
And TJ, where can people find you, like Sonic fans or just general fans of your work?
Twitter's the best place, really, for anything. Cool. A lot of the songs that I've done, they already know that it's all a lot on YouTube. I'm hoping to do some more recording stuff very soon. So I'll keep everybody posted, but I'm not a Facebook person. I don't do Facebook, but I am on Twitter. Understandable. But you think there may be some video games live thing? Possibly. I would hope so. I would love to see
let's make it happen. That'd be so good.
It would be amazing.
Place. Dude, people don't want that Final Fantasy rubbish. They want a good pop song which gets them out of their seats. That's
Sonic R, Roachford and Go West concert. Let's do it. I think those fan bases are a natural fit.
That sounds good.
Great. We'll make it happen.
Fantastic.
Right. Well, thanks, TJ, again. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the show, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.